Plaintiff Tasia Watson dated the defendant in college. But after she got pregnant, he started staying out until all hours of the night. And other women were calling his phone. Tasia's suing her child's father today for unpaid child support. Defendant Christian Deshaun Pates says while living with Tasia, he was working overnights and sometimes 16-hour shifts. However, he admits that he fell on hard times after he broke his neck, and again when the pandemic hit.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, I want to say hi, Judge Mathis. It's an honor to meet you today.
Thank you. You have such a pleasant smile. Thank you.
Thank you. I watch your show every day as well.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Me and the defendant, we dated back in 2013. We met at college. When I got pregnant, we moved in together. And
You all were still in college?
no, I had graduated.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Did he?
No, he didn't.
Go ahead.
Right. So after we moved in together, when I was about 7-8 months pregnant, he began staying out till 4 a.m, cheating on me, not answering my calls or text messages. Girls began calling his phone. I found text messages, found movie tickets by my front door. And then
Movie tickets?
Yes.
To prove we were together or something? To prove she
To
and
prove
me?
that he'd been taking girls out on dates.
Yeah.
Yes. He
That's
cheating.
a new one. I never heard that.
Yes.
All right, you bring the movie tickets.
Like they fell out his pocket.
Go ahead. Oh, it fell out of his pocket.
Yeah, it fell out
Oh,
his
I
pocket.
thought you were saying the other woman was bringing the movie tickets and setting them under the door to prove that he was with her. Oh, okay. All right. When you'd ask him, what would he say?
He would say, "It doesn't matter. Don't ask me. It don't matter."
He ain't even try to lie.
No. When he stay out all night, he'll be like, "I'm working," or
Well,
"I'm
that's a
fixing
lie.
on my car."
At least he give you a lie. He giving you a lie. You knew it was a lie.
Yeah, I knew.
And so you made your decision based on that.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. But I'm just curious as to whether women prefer, if you know the man is lying, do you still want him to tell the truth, or you just take the lie? All right, yes, all right, fine. All right, go on, stick with your lie. I'm just curious. What would you prefer, if you knew he was lying, would you prefer the lie or him or the truth?
I want the truth.
He ain't gonna tell you the truth.
Right.
So if he just said, well, I ain't gonna tell you. You rather say, well, at least lie to me or something. You gotta tell me something. I don't know. Say a woman, let's flip the script then, yeah. If you knew your woman was stepping out on you regularly and you weren't sure and she kept denying it, would you rather for her to say, no, I wasn't doing nothing, I was over to my girlfriend's house? Or would you rather to say, don't ask me what I did, where I be going? Which is what you say he's done from time to time. No, give me the lie. So at least I can hold on to something. Give me something to hold on to. Don't just make me feel you dogging me. Maybe it's a 10% chance you telling the truth. 90% chance, nah, it's just he lying, she lying, or he lying, 90% chance. That 10% chance, maybe I'm right. So at least I get to keep my dignity.
Yeah.
But if you just tell me, I ain't telling you nothing. I'm coming in at 4 a.m. No, not telling you anything. Where I've been, what I've done, nothing. You're not entitled to an answer. Nah. You want me to tell you that?
It's over.
Yeah, so. Yeah, and you're crushed.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Bring the lie instead of I'm not telling you. Tell them a lie that you know they gonna know it's a lie. Tell her a lie that you know she know is a lie, but at least don't say, I'm not told, just be quiet, period, and just walk away, act like you don't hear. Huh? And that's a lie too, but that's an easier lie. Well, that's a lie that doesn't hurt their feelings, because you can't insult anybody's intelligence either. So just walk around, huh? I ain't hear you, huh? And just keep walking.
Right.
And then just go in the room, say, or I don't know, I'm trying to think of some stuff to do. But you got the first part, just act like you can't hear it.
I'm hearing. Listen.
Go ahead. So, but he would just straight up not tell you anything. You
Right.
walk in and no answers, no lie, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah. And how would you respond? Y'all would argue or?
We would argue sometimes. Sometimes I'll pack his things for him to leave. He refused to leave.
See how it led to all that? Getting your things packed?
Yeah.
You tell me some of this. You give me some background on the relationship.
All right. As Ms. Watson said, we met in 2013. You feel me? Ended up getting her pregnant. She ended up, we ended up dating for a little bit. Ended up getting in the crib together when she got pregnant. And it was like, when she got pregnant, like being in the same household together with a pregnant woman, like.
Right, you didn't impregnate her, you had nothing to do with it? I guess most people don't know to say we got pregnant. That's, a lot of
we gotta say we, dang, I'm pregnant too.
You are.
Okay.
Just don't have the baby in you, the baby, she's carrying the baby, but yes, you're pregnant too.
Okay, we
same
pregnant.
responsibilities and same effects. Go ahead.
All right. So like, you know, I had to start working. I gotta do a lot of things to work, you feel? Like, I don't work in no fast food restaurant joints. At times, I was like a mover. I do hard labor things and stuff. So at nighttime, I work overnight. Loading licking trucks up.
Girls began calling his phone. I found text messages, found movie tickets by my front door. And then
Movie ticket.
Yes, when
To
I
prove
walked,
we were together or something, to prove she
to
can
prove
leave?
that he'd been taking girls out on dates.
Yeah.
Yes. He
That's a new one. I never heard that.
Plaintiff Tasha Watson dated the defendant, but she claims after she got pregnant with his child, he started cheating on her.
What'd you major in college?
I took out general knowledge, like computer science and stuff. Took out some classes.
Would you rather do that?
Rather do that, like
Coding that might lead to an invention, new technology that might be used in social media to make you a billionaire. At least you'd have a chance had you continued. But maybe you prefer doing what you do. Go ahead. Now, what happened to you in college? Why
nothing happened really in college. I just didn't finish
You mean
up.
did nothing happen? It did. No, you did something happen. You flunked out. Nothing happened.
I just
yeah,
stopped.
you're right. My fault. You're right. Let me stop. You're absolutely right. Nothing did happen. You're absolutely right.
Hey,
You're right.
hey, like that. Hey, I just stopped.
Hey,
going
what?
For a
You know,
little bit.
you're
I
here
just
for child
postponed it.
support.
I just
Grinning and
postponed it.
skinning. You're here for child support. You got a cheap fake watch on that would otherwise cost $100,000. You're in there fronting, man. You should be embarrassed of yourself.
Hey,
You should be embarrassed of
same watch on,
yourself. You around here lifting boxes after you done spent your money on a college degree in technology where you could have been super rich. All right, sir. Go ahead. We move beyond why you didn't finish college and can't pay your child support. What else you want me to know about the relationship?
So, you know, once we got a crib, during the pregnancy, we got a crib together. A house together, which is an apartment, really. It started becoming like a big, like, dictator, like, you feel me? Like, I'm getting on top of everything. I don't want to work. She's ready for me, like, work a fast food job. Like, I'm a hard working man. I ain't trying to, that's not, like, working a fast food job, that's not for me, you feel me? So I was doing hard labor things. Yeah? Sometimes I'd be coming in exhausted and overdoing, like it was range from, like, 10 to 16 hours a day. Sometimes I would do, like, I do doubles, you know? To make sure to make time, because in a minute, like, when she have the baby, like, she gonna be on maternity leave, so I'm gonna have to take care of everything after that. Like, she won't be able to do nothing because she take care of the baby. She just had a baby. See? So that's like, you feel me? Like, what else I'm supposed to do? Like, I'm a hard worker, man. I try to, like, maintain and stuff. Like, she
I don't
like,
feel
get
you
it.
at all.
Was like,
Zero do I feel you.
Zero. I'm a
Zero
hard
at
worker,
all.
man.
I have no understanding. I can't relate to what you're saying. Zero.
You can't relate.
So, no, I can't relate. No, can't relate to that. I can't feel you on that. No, I don't feel you. I don't know anything about that. All right, so no, you can stop that right now. All right, continue your testimony without asking me if I feel you, because I know I don't feel you at all. Nothing about you do I feel. Nothing about you can I relate to.
I get you understand.
Zero. So keep me out of it. Nothing associated with me and you. Ma'am, tell me about the child support.
Okay. And back in 2018, he was ordered to pay me $200 a month. He made some payments, but after that, he stopped. Right now, he's in arrears of $4,832.
What happened, sir?
What happened? A lot happened. It's 2018. Yeah.
Pardon me?
I said there's a lot happened. You know what I mean? Around that time, like I couldn't hardly I could work, but I couldn't work that much. You know what I mean? Because like.
What happened to the 16 hours?
Well, the 16 hours, it was being hard for me to work because in between that, like I ended up getting into like accidents. Like I broke my arm, ended up breaking my neck in a car crash. And
Don't let your kids see this, please. Okay. Now, please, I'm asking you, don't let them see this. I don't want them to think their father is pitiful.
Okay.
I don't want him to come across pitiful to his own kids. No, don't let him see that. Don't let him hear him talk like that. What evidence page do you have that shows how much he owes?
Page 2, Your Honor.
Because I'm going to stop him. I ain't going to let him do this to his own kids. I'm not going to let him do this to his kids. He didn't done enough. Or no, that's the exact point. He's done nothing, so we're not going to make it worse. $4,832 is what child support agency says you owe. Any defense to that, sir?
Yeah, like.
What's the defense?
I'm trying to understand back to like, okay, it's doing COVID times now and stuff. That's why it's like a little greater amount. It's doing COVID, so it's hard for the work.
2018, there was no COVID.
2018, that wasn't the price in 2018. If we're not suing for 2018, it's accumulated over time.
Started in 18, sir. It started in 18.
It started in 18, but it was payments made during all this time. Till now, it was payments made.
No, but payments weren't made up through 19 and 18. It weren't made before COVID, sir. I don't know what happened. What happened to you in college?
Nothing happened really in college. I just didn't finish up.
Did nothing happen? It did. No, you did something happen. You flunked out.
Plaintiff Tasha Watson dated the defendant, but she claims after she got pregnant with his child, he started cheating on her.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh,
thank you. He's pitiful and sorry, just like Judge Mathis said. I'm so happy about the verdict. Thank you, Judge Mathis.
I just want to see my kids. That's all to it. I want to be a dad to my kids.
Pay your child support.
You tell me pay your child support. I'm going to see my kids without paying the child support.
So happy I won.
Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly says the defendant is her cousin, but they didn't know each other until she was 18 years old. Marianne claims she and the defendant became really close really fast, but she's suing him today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Edwin Rios says he comes from a family of drinkers, and when Marianne came into the picture, she fit right in. Edwin is countersuing because he claims while working together, Marianne defamed him to their co-workers and his manager.
Start with you.
Okay, so this is my older cousin, Eddie. I actually didn't get in contact with him till I was about 17, 18 years old. I reached out to him through social media. We instantly hit it off. We became really super close over a short period of time. We had 4 losses within our family in a short period of time as well. We used to go out to like the bars. We would go out drinking a lot. There were a couple occasions to where things kind of turned physical with other people. There was one incident that I can remember. We went to pick up a DVD from his ex-girlfriend, and him and the new boyfriend had gotten into a fight, and me and the ex-girlfriend also got into a fight. The police were called. Nobody went to jail, but there was alcohol.
Did you all know that her current boyfriend was there?
No, we did not.
Okay.
She kind of just pulled up with him.
Okay. You just showed up at the house?
Well, we went to go.
Notice.
Well, we went to go pick up something.
Right. You just showed up without calling her and saying we're on our way.
Yes.
Got your feelings hurt.
A little bit.
Let me hear from you.
Well, it's like she stated, we're real close. Our family was a family of drinkers, so when she finally came around, she did fit in. Well, all right. Well, with
So you
Marianne,
probably doubled down on that drinking when you went over there and saw your ex with that man so soon.
well, actually,
How long had y'all been broken up?
for a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, and
Yeah.
you went over there and she had somebody else in the house already.
Well, no, it was
I know
it was
you
her
like
job.
to die.
It was her job. My mom's DVD memorial.
So
was in
why
her
you
vehicle.
start fighting then?
We were drunk.
She said it was her new man.
We were drunk.
I know, but why'd you start fighting with the man?
Well, I know him previously before.
And he had your woman
Yeah.
in
Yes.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Hurt your ego.
Yeah, it did a
Hurt
little
your
bit.
pride.
Yeah.
You thought she should never have another person.
Yeah.
Nobody could ever measure up to you.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I feel I'm like you. And a woman gets somebody else after they leave you. That's an abomination.
After that, we left. After the cops let us go, nobody got arrested. We ended up driving
You
off.
left with your woman? She came with you?
No, we left.
She stayed back
Oh, yeah.
with the other guy?
Yeah.
That's
No,
even
you was
worse.
crying all the way to the he said, and not from the fight. Go ahead.
Well, she was so mad we didn't allow her to fight my ex. She ended up beating up her own vehicle, vandalizing her own vehicle, taking her anger
You
out.
did.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were drunk for real. All right. A woman gets somebody else after they leave you. That's an abomination.
After that, we left. After the cops let us go, nobody got arrested. We ended up driving
You
off.
left with your woman? She came with you?
No, we left.
She stayed back
Oh, yeah.
with the other guy?
Yeah.
That's even
You was
worse.
crying all the way to the he said, and not from the fight. Go ahead.
Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly is suing her cousin, who claims while working together, Marianne defamed him to their co-workers and his manager.
How did we get to the loan you're suing for?
So he was working somewhere. He ended up not being able to continue that job because his vehicle went down or something happened with the transmission.
He's up to break out crying any
Okay,
minute.
yeah, got it.
Go ahead. I can look over there at him. He's thinking back at that. You thinking back when you pulled up and saw that man. You pulled up and saw that man. You ain't been right since. Don't fall out in here crying. Go ahead. So,
Okay.
go ahead.
So anyway, Your Honor, long story short, he asked to borrow $1,500 to get a car. I was working at a restaurant and we needed a delivery driver and I knew he wasn't working, so I got him a job in there. He told me he was going to give me back my money. I've still yet to get it, and that was back in the end of November.
November?
Yes.
I'm sure he told you you're getting that back at income tax time.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that's what he told you, really.
That was our agreement.
I tease around that that's what people say. And I knew November is easy way to say, oh, in a few months with my income tax. He told you that for
That's exactly
You've
what it
never
was.
seen this show?
I have a lot.
That means you're not going to get it?
I just,
When someone says, I'm going to give it to you with my income, their essence just may be saying it differently, but they're in essence saying, I'm never going to pay you again.
I just never expected to be here.
What happened when income tax time came? The federal government took it because he owed, or the state took it because of child support, or no, he was in school and the student loans took it. What happened to it?
He told me that he lost it. Not
Lost
that
it
was
where?
at the bar.
Lost it as in out of his pocket?
Yeah, at the bar is what he
The
said.
actual check?
No, he said the actual cash.
Now that's the worst I've ever heard, sir. Give him a pen. If you're gonna use it right. Here's some paper.
What do you want me to write?
Just hand it to him, I'll tell him. Write this down. If you're gonna use the income tax, write the excuses down. They took it for loans, student loans. The state took it for child support or parking tickets, I think they take it for now.
Yeah.
That's state taxes. All right, you got it?
Yes.
Because you tell somebody you lost their money, you're going to be in another fight. How much you had it in your pocket and it fell out? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm a drinker. I was at the bar, and I lost my whole refund, $2,200, gone.
I don't believe you. What's the counterclaim for, sir? $1,500. How does she owe you for defaming her?
Well, defamation of character.
For defaming
we were
you,
working,
right.
and one of my coworkers pulled me to the side and said that she is going around telling the coworkers or boss, the managers, that I basically took advantage of her. Basically, like I stole from her, because she said I never had the intention of paying her back.
That's stealing, permanently depriving one of their property or monies.
Yes, but it wasn't true. That wasn't the
intent
plan.
to permanently deprive. Well, have you paid her?
No.
How long ago was it?
Well, she gave me the loan back in November.
November?
Yes.
And when were you to begin paying?
I was supposed to
When
pay
your
it back.
income tax?
Yes, sir.
And that would have been February or March or April? And you haven't paid anything. All right, but you do understand that the fact that you lost what you owed her does not mean that you no longer owe her. You understand that proposition?
Yes.
All right. And
Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to clear the record. I did state to my ex-boyfriend, my boyfriend at the time at the restaurant, that, yeah, he asked me what was going on between him and I, because we weren't close like we used to be, because that was my closest cousin. And I had just told him, like, he still hasn't given me my money. He made up, like, a BS story is what I told him, and I didn't believe him. But I told one person. It never went back to our boss. He never got fired for anything.
Well, you told him your opinion of the truth.
Right.
And it is true that you haven't paid. And her opinion is that you weren't going to pay her. And therefore, you have taken her money. So she has a right to that belief based on your actions that you had demonstrated. So your claim for defamation is dismissed. Good luck to you. Yours is granted for the money he lost but still owes you. Have a good day.
Honestly, it just sucks that we had to come to this, and I'm glad that we can get past this, hopefully, and work toward being as close as we used to be.
I didn't screw you over. I did lose my money, but I hope we can get past this and see where it goes from here.
I still love you.
I love you too.
And now a special throwback update as the plaintiff is back in Judge Mathis's courtroom. Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly says the defendant is her cousin, and she claims they both have anger issues, and Marianne's anger got her kicked out of high school. Marianne suing her cousin today for totaling her car. Defendant Kiara Leftridge says their family is cursed, and she claims she and Marianne tried to get away from the violence and craziness to better their lives. Kiara admits that she wrecked Marianne's vehicle, but insists it wasn't totaled. Let's start with you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you don't remember me, but I was actually on your show 2 years back in 2019. So a little bit of a backstory. I didn't know that side of the family growing up. I didn't reach out to them until I was about 18 years old on my dad's side of the family. Upon meeting the other side of my family, I met Kiara. She was probably like 13 or 14 when I met her, because there's a bit of an age difference. We clicked pretty fast. We shared a lot of the same past, a lot of the same interests. She's really quiet at first, but then you get to know her and she's just like me, kind of crazy. We've both gone into a lot of things. We both have a really bad temper, and we've gotten into a lot of stupid things. I got kicked out of high school for fighting, and I got a battery and 2 mob action charges. I didn't want her to go the same route that I went.
Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly says the defendant is her cousin, and she claims they both have anger issues, and Marianne's anger got her kicked out of high school.
Any other family members violent?
Yes, a majority of them.
Yeah, that's genetic and socioeconomic. You violent also, Kiara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, you all have to break that generational problem that sounds like you have, and genetics dominate much of your life, but you can still overcome it because that's not normal. Being violent is not normal. Y'all need help. Counseling.
I mean, for our family, it's pretty
chemicals. The whole family need help. Bring them all here. We can all go together because I need help. I'll be the first one in line at the counselor or psychiatrist or whomever will take us. All right.
We can use it.
And people watch this show, they'll tell you I can too. But but no, look into that. I don't want anything to happen to you all or your family members, because that's what happens. People not fighting too much these days. You fought in high school, they don't fight much with their fists anyways. So work on that. But you all both have temper problems. And what else? How else would you describe you all's relationship? And what else you want to tell me? You live destructive lives together other than that? Drink too much? Smoke too much? Do anything too much?
Well, Your Honor, me and her have stayed out of the way when it comes to like the hardcore drugs and the alcohol. She was staying with me for a little bit. When I was planning to relocate to Arizona, she was going to come with me because it was probably the best idea for me and her to get out of the environment that we were in. Because we kept falling back into the same things. Constant fighting, constant drama, constant everything.
Where do you all live? Where are you all from?
I'm from Chicago. I just moved out to Indiana not too long ago.
And you started your fighting here in Chicago? That's where you learned to fight?
I did. I got kicked out of high school.
They definitely don't fight here anymore with their hands. Unfortunately, these guns have been dumped on this town, as in other major cities, in the wrong hands, the criminals. And so they're not fighting anymore. So I'm glad you recognize you all need to get out of that environment. So you offered her to move to Arizona with you. How did that go?
We were all on board for it. She was actually at my house, staying with me when I moved to East Chicago, and she was staying at my house, and she babysat my 3 kids. They're 7, 6, and 1. And that's kind of what led us to where we are today here.
All right. And why don't you give me some background?
Like she has said, like we didn't grow up knowing each other. She didn't come around until she was like towards 18. Like she was a teenager. I was like 13-ish, and we clicked pretty quickly. So when she came around, we had like started seeing each other more. Like her crazy side started coming out more. And like I realized like she's nuts, but at the same time,
oh, don't say that. Don't use that word.
I mean, you can't really blame her. Like we have this thing, we call it like the family curse. Like you come towards our side and then you just get caught up in pretty much like the violence and the craziness, and that's how we kind of got like stuck. It's almost like we feel stuck, and that's why she had kind of like, tried to help me out, and she's going to let me come with her to Arizona because we both kind of needed to get away.
Good.
And yeah.
I'm proud that you all recognize that. I was a violent kid, and I was in a horrible environment to be violent in. And so, however, when I escaped to college, I was probably when nobody else there to be violent with. So, okay, all I can do is study. So my point is environment is a big deal. So did you all make it? Did you move?
No, when I came back, my car was pretty much totaled.
Came back from where?
To Indiana when I went to Arizona. I got approved for my first home loan. So I was looking for houses and things like that. And there was a job offer for $30 an hour. And it worked around my school schedule because I went back to school. And when I came back off the flight, my aunt had to pick me up. And my car wasn't at my house. My car was at my grandparents' house. And I no longer had a vehicle because I drive for like a rideshare platform. So that delayed everything.
Okay, and so you're back in Indiana?
Yes, but I actually leave back to Arizona tonight.
Oh, good. All right, great. Good. And what happened to your car? Sounds like obviously Kiara did wrong by you in this instance, at least you're alleging. What happened?
I still don't know, Your Honor. She had the vehicle. I told her if it was like an emergency, get up and go. She never admitted to anything with the car with me. So we got into like a big feud over social media. We said some really hurtful and hateful things towards each other. We hadn't talked until about a month ago. I still don't know what happened to the car.
When was the car damaged?
This is back in June of last year.
Okay. And what did you see? You may not know what happened, but what did you see or what was the damage?
Well, Your Honor, there's 2 videos that I would like you to look at. It shows the intensity of the passenger side to the bumper and the inside of the car when I couldn't get it to start.
Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly says the defendant is her cousin, and she claims they both have anger issues. And Marianne's anger got her kicked out of high school.
What happened?
She had what I had agreed I told her so that she can go look for, jobs and housing out in Arizona, that I watched the boys. And she had told me that I can use the car. And I had asked her, I was like, well, it's summer. I got the 3 boys. Like, is it okay if I use it? I could take them to the park, like the beach or whatever. So that night we had ended up spending the day at the beach. And then when we were coming back, they were still hyper, like the 2 boys.
That's those jeans.
The boys, they were hyper. They were playing in the back, and they had like their little toys from the beach, and then like their little water guns and stuff. And they had ended up throwing something like towards the front, and me not thinking because it went towards my
the
side,
kids were in the back throwing things in the front. Go ahead. Get them out of take them out of Indiana with you, right? You're taking them to Arizona too, right? Let them throw at those mountains. Go ahead, ma'am. So they were throwing things at you while you were in the front seat, and what happened?
Well, no, they were playing, they were throwing stuff at each other, and it had ended up coming towards the front. And then so without thinking, because it came towards my side, I went to grab it because, first of all, I didn't want to hit anything in the first place. That's why I bent down to grab it, and then I ended up hitting something. I don't exactly know what it was. I think it was like a trash can. Or I know it was something that was in the alley. I didn't really see it. But I didn't stop right away to look at it because it was dark. It was in the alley. And then there was 3 kids. I'm not just going to stop in the alley, especially in East Chicago.
All right. So you don't know what it was exactly, but you saw the damage. And did you tell her immediately what happened after realizing you had an accident?
No, I didn't tell her immediately because it was already late, and she was looking at the house. She was looking at the houses and the her jobs and everything. So I didn't want to make her even more angry in the first place.
You were scared, that's all. Like most people are, if you wreck someone's car, you're going to be scared. You don't want to tell them.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell her because also the whole reason I was trying to avoid the fight in the first place, I was trying to avoid the whole fight. But then the reason she even found out about it, because the family had ended up saying something.
Otherwise, she'd have never known, would she?
I mean, when she got back, she would have.
She would have seen it.
Yeah, but then once everybody else got involved, she didn't actually come to me at first. She listened to them, and then when she had came to me, she was already mad because I didn't say nothing. But the whole reason I didn't say nothing was because I was waiting for her to get back, and then I was gonna tell her. But then when she got back, she was mad, and she already wanted to fight because everybody else put their 2 cents in because, yeah, that's just our family. And so at that point, I just lied about it because.
You wanted to avoid drama. You said it. You wanted to avoid drama, and you're part of a violent family, and you didn't know where that might go. So were they a nice, calm family and reserved and never get upset or yell and fuss? You wouldn't have had a problem. That's essentially what you're saying. All right, so she's going by your reputation. She didn't want to get jumped on. You had already heard everything from the other folks.
Yeah, she's seen a lot. She's seen a lot.
Yeah. So let me see the video. Oh, please. You done hit everything. You hit more than just one thing.
That's no pinstripe.
Right, not a pinstripe, Dulce. Ma'am, that doesn't look like a small accident.
It wasn't that bad when I had hit it, because when I had hit it, it couldn't have been total because I was still driving it. I drove it back to my aunt's house and everything. It wasn't totaled.
It did look primarily It did look like primarily body work, but the body work can exceed the worth of some cars. And if she's calling it total, perhaps it's because of the cost of repair. Why do you refer to it as total? It didn't quite look total, but it did look like several $1,000s worth of damage. So why do you refer to it as total? It costs more to repair than the car is worth?
Yes, Your Honor. My brother had to come out because I was so livid and I couldn't get a hold of her, and like my anger got the best of me. And he's like, just calm down, I'm gonna come out there. And he looked at it and he started laughing at me, telling me that I should have known better than to let anybody drive the car. And now I'm without a car. And we went back and forth, and the fender, we couldn't get it to turn over, something about like an oil pan. I don't know much about cars.
Okay.
I mean, he wrote a statement. I think it's on like the last page.
Last page, you believe? Mm-hmm.
Yes. And my insurance is only liability and it only covers me.
Yeah. Does she even have a license? I'm tempted to think you didn't have a license.
No, I don't, Your Honor.
What made me think of it, I saw your driver's license in the file, but I didn't see one for you.
No, sir.
So you automatically guilty, whether it was your fault or not. You were negligent knowing you don't have a license. And when anyone does the first thing wrong, everything that follows, they're responsible for it.
Plaintiff Marianne O'Reilly says the defendant is her cousin, and she claims they both have anger issues. And Marianne's anger got her kicked out of high school.
All right, and what text messages? I'm looking at one or two here. Is there something in here either one of you want me to read that might be relevant?
No, Your Honor, the only two things on the first 2 pages was the Kelley Blue Book value that I looked up. One was for a trade-in and one was like a median range for the vehicle price because I wasn't exactly sure how to go about pricing. And the rest of the messages was what I was telling you about how me and her had a really hateful back and forth argument after I posted the live video saying, so does nobody really, or I said something like, so nobody can tell me what happened to my car, and she came on there and we went back and forth. That's probably the only other thing that shows the screenshots because then I ended up in social media jail.
What is that? They take you off of your site?
Yeah, for us bullying, and they lock us for 30 days.
Okay, any last words from you, ma'am?
No, all in all, the only reason I don't feel like I owe her that much is because it could have been solved in the first place if she would have came to me like an adult, but instead she went back to her old ways, and the way she came at me was just immature in general. So therefore, I feel like it could have all been handled the right way in the first place.
You don't want to tell me.
Right, that was my next remark. You're the one that handled it the wrong way. You started it out wrong.
No, because I would have told her, but she had ended up listening to everybody else, and instead of coming to me, she listened to the rest of the family, and I had to find out, like, because she's done a lot of crazy stuff. One time, I literally walked out my house to see her chasing a girl down the street with a bat. I didn't even know Marianne was at the house, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I walked out.
Well, let me order you to pay before she comes at you with that bat. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, I'm just glad it didn't get to us, like, trying to fight each other and hurt each other, and that we've grown from it.
Same. I'm glad, like, we didn't, like, fight and, like, we could get along now again and not go the route that the rest of the family would have took it.